So we have done the type of examples. So we have done the type of discussion in the classroom. Now it is going to see the another discussion in the classroom, that is going to be the variable declaration. I will continue. So last class also we have seen that some table differences, different varieties of data types also. Different varieties of data types also I was showing you. The data types, which are mainly what we discussed in the class, and I have shown you that separate discussion I explained in the class with the formulas and all those things. With the formulas and all those things, we got it. Now it is the time to see to move forward. To move forward, variable declaration and initialization, I need to go for it. Okay, so let me move forward to the further discussion. Variable declaration, I just want to go for it. Simple. So now I'm going to introduce variable declaration. So variable declaration. What exactly meaning of variable declaration? I just want to take up. Very, very easy. Let's watch this concept. Variable declaration in C language. Right. So look at what do you mean by variable declaration. So last class we already seen some discussion in the classroom like data types. What is the purpose of data types, ma? Can you tell me, all of you, what is the purpose of data types? Yes, allocating the memory space. Allocating the memory space. 1 minute, ma. Okay. Pretty clear, na? Okay. Now, right. So let us go to the data types part. Data types part now. So last class we already completed the data types. So we are coming to the statement called what? Variable declaration in C language. Look at. Suppose I want to store example part we are taking. Example. So what is an example? You watch it. For example, I want to store the data called want to store the data 10 20. For example, I want to store 10 20 in memory. How do you do that? To store this 10 20, what should I do? First, we need to allocate what? Come on, everybody. First, I need to allocate what? First, memory space. To allocate the memory space, what should I take? What should I take? Data type we need to take. Data type we need to take. Come on, which data type we discussed for this type of data to store? Which type of data type we need to take? Int data type we need to take. How many values are there for me? 2 values are there. How many variables I should take? 2 variables I need to take. So how do you do that? Now, any value you want to store, first allocate the memory space. That memory space allocation can be done by the declaration of variable. So first I am writing here, any type of variable you want to store, first you need to declare the variable. Int, just watch it, ma. Watch it carefully. Int is a data type. A is the variable. Int is a data type. A is the variable. Because of this statement, just watch one statement. Because of this statement, do you know what is happening? Memory space will be created. Memory space will be created, and it is pointed by A. And it is pointed by A. And the value will be getting but because of this, memory space is created due to int, and A is pointed. And once if I write int B, once again I am writing int B, int B. Again, it is going to create what? Memory space will be created for once again B. So instead of writing separately, do you know, I can write both of them at a time. See, I can write like this also. So because it is a beginning programming language, we must be careful enough. Int A comma B I am writing. A comma B I am writing. So because of that, what will happen here? It is going to allocate A. It is going to create A. Then next it is going to allocate one more memory space. So depends on the number of variables we will take, and that data type will allocate that many memory spaces, which is containing B. So this statement, what you have written, is called a variable declaration. This is called a variable declaration. This is called a variable declaration, also called as variable declaration. So what do you mean by variable declaration? Any type of value you people decided to store, they must be declared. Declared means you are telling to your operating system saying that I am using so and so data type. I am using so and so variable. You need to intimate so that memory space will be allocated and which is pointed by the variable name. Without using the memories, without declaring the variables, if you start writing the coding, you will get the error. You will get the error. So do you understand? Suppose I am writing A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20 and C is equal to A plus B. Here you will get three errors. You will get three errors, three errors. Why errors? Three errors here? Because we don't have the memory space for A, B, C. We don't have the memory space for A, B, C. So I need to allocate the memory space. How do you allocate the memory space? Before using the variables in my program, already we learned in the class regarding the rules of variables. Int A comma B comma C. I told you A comma B comma C. So that memory space will be created for A, B, C. These lines are known as what? These lines are known as what? Variable declaration we can call. Variable declaration we can call. So in Java you take it, in C++ you take it. This is compulsory. In Python programming, we need not to declare the variables because Python is one of the dynamically typed programming language. Python is one of the dynamically typed programming language. So coming to the point back, here I am going to say need not to allocate the memory space in Python because it is a dynamically typed. It will be taken care by the programming language itself. So coming to the variable declaration here, when you go to C programming, C++ programming, it is there. Variable declaration is different. Variable initialization is different. Sinduja. Listen, Amma. First, we are talking about variable initialization. We are talking about variable initialization separate. That we are talking about discussion separately. So now I'm talking about definition. I'm talking about the definition. What is the definition of variable declaration? Which is very, very simple. Variable declaration is nothing but the process of allocating. I'm writing here. The process of allocating sufficient memory space, for sufficient memory space. How it is done? With the data types. In the bracket, I will write data types. Actual statement of declaration I'm telling. The process of allocating sufficient memory space and giving and allocating the sufficient memory space is number one. Plus and assigning what? Unique name. Assigning unique name to the created memory space. Created memory space is called variable declaration. Variable declaration. I will just adjust it. The process of allocating sufficient amount of memory space. Data types can do. Assigning the unique names to the created memory space. That is nothing but what? Variable names. Variable names is called a variable declaration. So here the process of allocating sufficient memory space with the help of data type and assigning the unique name to the created memory space is called variable declaration. Without variable declaration, now I'm writing without variable declaration, we can't store the data. Without variable declaration, we can't store the data. Right. Perfect. Now, what is the syntax, sir? What is the syntax? Syntax I'm going to tell you. Syntax is what? Data type you need to specify. Data type V1, V2, so on, Vn, so on, V1, V2, so on, what? Vn. So what is the data type here? If I go for a simple explanation, I am taking here. What is an explanation here? Very, very simple. Here, data type represents, data type represents any predefined data type. Already we discussed predefined data type. Any predefined data type. It's number one. Next, we need to understand V1, V2, so on Vn represents valid variable names, valid variable name of C language. We already told you the rules for you. Rules and regulations are already explained. Represents valid variable names, valid variable names. V1, V2, so on Vn represents valid variable names. Perfect. Next, I'm going to talk about valid variable names. Before using the variable in the program, they must be declared. Otherwise, you will get the compile time error. Now I'm going to tell you before using the variables. Already we discussed in the class. Every type of program uses variables. Without variables, we can't store the data. Before using the variables in C program, comma, they must be declared. They must be declared. Otherwise, we get compile time error. Before using variables in C program, they must be declared. Otherwise, we get compile time error. Here, data type represents any predefined data type. V1, V2, so on Vn represents variable names. Before using variables in C program, they must be declared. Otherwise, you will get, let me write compile time error. Right? This is an important point. Actually, strictly speaking, any programming language, if you want to know, actually the mother of all the programming languages is called C programming. And in most of the companies, they used to conduct earlier with the C programming only. And with the C programming logics, if you know very well, we can do any other language, we can learn easily. But as on today, we are not thinking like that. Even the students are expecting, without C language, they want to learn Java program. Without C language, they want to learn Python programming. Even what we are saying in the class, yes, no problem, because we are repeating. Suppose if you say take C language, you are learning here. In Java, you will get variable declaration. In Java, you will get it, for example. There we will explain the syntax of Java declaration. Suppose if you learn here, Java, you will feel much easy. There we are explaining from the basics onward, Java also you can learn it. But the point is, here if you have some knowledge about here, that is easy for you to learn it. That's why you people can learn without learning C programming also, you can start learning about it all. That's why coming Monday, 4 o'clock, our new batch is starting. So try to learn Java perfectly. And Python also will start very shortly. Next month, 10th like that, 6 p.m. one more Python batch will start. There it is going to learn. You can learn that also. Yes, ma'am. In Core Java, we are discussing collection framework. So many new topics we will discuss it. Yeah, so many things we are going to discuss. Narendra. Yes, fine. Let us coming to the discussion. You see, ma, in our batches, you see collection framework. Narendra, if you want, you can observe it. 11 a.m. Core Java, 11 a.m. Java. See that? This is a 11 a.m. batch. 11 a.m., 7 a.m. and all those things. In 11 a.m., collections. See, biggest topics are there. Collections. In that, see how many programs we used to discuss. So many programs. This is our ongoing batches. So collections, we are talking all those things. So many number of examples we used to talk about. So many things we used to talk. Okay. Anyhow, let me complete this 10 days course. What we are learning, for example, this part. Now, example, I want to talk about it. Examples. See what is happening here in the example part. Right? Let us come into the point. Now see, int a comma b comma c, int a comma b comma c. Next, this is going to allocate how much memory space? How many variables are created? Tell me, ma. Come on, respond. How many variables we are creating? 3 variables. What is the type of it? What is the type of it? Everybody. What is the type of it, ma? What is the type of each one? Int type. So memory space is 2 bytes created for A, 2 bytes created for B, 2 bytes created for C. Even I told you this type of diagrammatic representation. So here the variable declaration starts something like this. Okay, now, right. Coming to the point of it. Next, again, if you want me to tell, it is something like this. Diagrammatically, if you want to go for it, int a comma b comma c. For example, what is happening? Memory space is created for A, memory space is created for A, memory space is created for B, memory space is created for B, and then memory space is created for C. 3 different memory spaces will be created. A, and next is called B, and the next is called what? C. C memory space is created. Here, the values, once this is done, this is a scenario. And one more thing is what? Float, x comma y, x comma y. It is going to create the memory space for floats also. So when you are going to store the data for float, you need to take the variables, and it is indicated by what? X, and it is indicated by what? Y. X and Y locations are done. So like that, any variable can be done. So I will write here float x comma y double p comma q, any number of variables, char c1 comma c2 comma c3, like this you can take c1 comma c2 comma c3, like this you can take c3. Okay, these are all called variable declaration statement. Sir, what happens when a variable is declared? So I want to tell you a small internal point. I want to tell you what happens when a variable is declared. Just I want to tell you for your understanding, internal understanding. What are the steps taking place? What are the internal steps taking place? Internal steps taking place. What are the internal steps taking place? Internal steps taking place when the variable is declared. When the variable is declared. When the variable is declared. Variable is declared. When the variable is declared. So what are the steps? What are the steps are taking place? Number one. Look at that. So I will give you the steps what is happening so that you can understand the next second another part you can take care. So third one and then next fourth one. Look at, and other side I will take one example also. Other side I will take one example part also. Other side I will take example part also. Watch it. Fine. So here I am taking example. Whenever you say int a, do you know what is happening? Int a, whenever I say, it is going to first based on int, memory space is allocated. First step I am writing. Depends on the data type, memory space will be created. So number one, memory space is created. Memory space is created based on the data type. Based on the data type. Based on the data type. Memory space is created based on the data type. Okay, right. How the data type is decided, and you can easily decide it based on your requirement. Suppose you want to store integer data, you use int data type. If you want to use float data, you use float data type. So depends on the data type you are using, that type of requirement you need to use. If you want float, you use float data type. If you want to use character, you use that part. So the first step is done. This is the memory space which is created. So here I will take up memory space is created. This is the part. This is the one. Now I'm writing this is the memory space is created. Second one is what? Second one. Here also memory space is created. Here also I will write this diagram. Yes. Next, that is the first step. Second step, what is happening? Do you know? Do you know, guys, what is happening? After that, once a memory space is created, the created memory space is assigned by some name, the internal part of it. Because even in Java also have the same thing. Even in Python also, C++, Java, Python, .NET, anywhere else. created memory space is assigned 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 by assigned a unique name, which is called a variable name. Created memory space is assigned a unique variable name, which we already discussed in the class. Variable name. So how it is done here? It is going to contain variable name uniquely. It is assigned. What is an example here? Second step, if you remember carefully, this is a part of it. Which is assigned by some name. What is that name here? A. So here also you come to this. Here also you try to see. This is a part of it. Already this is the second part related example I am writing. Here I am writing A. Done. So first step, second step. What is the third step now? Let me take the third step. Let me just take the steps little down I will take. Let me go to the third step. Third step and fourth step I will take it. What is the third step? The third step, if you remember carefully, once the memory space is created, definitely that memory space will contain some type of what do you call address is there. Address. Coming to that next, we are going for address. The created memory space. See, the created memory space is assigned. This variable is assigned for the programmer purpose to interact with the memory space. But for the computer always is very much intelligent in remembering addresses. The created memory space is assigned with the unique address. This is what is very, very important in unique address. In our C programming, it is dealt with unique address. In our Java programming, references will be there. In Python, there is an ID will be there. ID function. That ID and the reference of Java and the ID of Python is coming from C programming only. Unique address is assigned. The created memory space is assigned with a unique address. That is nothing. Unique address is assigned. For what purpose? For identifying the memory space by the computer. This is for the programmer purpose. This is for programmer convenience. Programmer purpose. This is for programmer purpose. It is for programmer purpose. This one. And this is for the computer. For the computer purpose. Because computer is very intelligent in remembering addresses. And programmer is very intelligent in remembering the names of the variables. So without the names of the variables, we cannot do it. Right? So coming to the next discussion here, we will go for this part here. So I'm writing here, A variable is there. A variable is already there. A variable. And here I'm going to take it as a variable is already there. And it is going to contain here some address will be there. Address. What is that address now? I will show you the address also in our program. For example, 3456. 3456 is called what? Address. Yes, Fanindra. Because we are from the industry background. We are all having some industry experience. We know what is going to come in the software industry. College level discussion. Yes, that only I'm saying. Okay, very good. You are appreciating. It's very nice. Thank you. And what college people teach, that is not at all even 0.5 matching here. It is completely different explanation. Because we need to start working in the industry level applications. That's what is our entire discussion will start towards that. So what is this A? Address. So even in Java course also, we are going towards that only. So without fail, all you people try to join Java, which is going to start from Monday, 4 o'clock. It is my advice for you, right? Later it is your requirement. Now here what is happening? So memory space is created now. This is a variable A. Which is containing some type of address, which is taken here as what? 3456. I will show you that address also. So this is the address This is a variable. Variable is for what purpose? For you to refer the value. For computer is to refer 3, 4, 5, 6. Some address will be there. How to take that address? I will tell you that. Next, the fourth point I am going to talk about. Fourth point I am going to talk about. So see here the fourth point here. So computer is the operating system which is present in that computer is assigning some type of value, because memory is a very important resource. Automatically some value will be assigned. How it is an example? How can you give such example? How can I catch you generally? Suppose your palm, hand palm is there. When you close your palm, what is there inside of it? When you close your palm, come on, fast. What is there inside of it? Nothing is there. You are closing your palm. What is there inside me in the middle of it? The general part, whether you are catching me or not, I don't know. What is there inside of it? Because whether you will reach to me or not, I don't know. So suppose you have a bag, empty bag is there. You are closing that bag. What is there inside the bag? What is that bag? What is that bag contains, ma? So some value is there. What is that value? Nothing is there in the bag. Nothing is there. No items are there. See, ma, no items are there. Something is there. Not zero. Zero is also one value. Not zero is also there. So of course you did not catch me. Some air is there. Air. No items are there in the bag. Null is also not there. Some air is there. That air is nothing but no value at all. That means in the memory space, some value will present, which is called garbage value. Some garbage value is there. That is what I want to tell you, garbage value. So in C programming, we are dealing with the garbage value. In Java programming, we deal with the default value. In Python, we don't have, every value must be there directly. Without the value, we cannot place anything. So I am writing it, since we are in the C discussion, now I am writing the created memory space. The operating system will automatically place the operating system will automatically place default value of C programming is called garbage value. Automatically place a default value in the created memory space. That default value is called garbage value. So the OS will automatically place a default value in the created memory space. Now I am writing in the bracket. In the bracket I will write it. The default value of C programming is called garbage value. I will show you that also in the class. Garbage value. This is a very, very important. Right. So coming to the point of it, yes, ma, Sutari Rakesh. So I did not come to local variable, ma. When I come to local variable, na, you will mind-blowing answers we used to give. Because local, actually, of course, you don't feel it. Because of this, we are experts in programming part. Of both core and then of Java as well as Python. It's our branded. It's a branded of our class. So here in this branding of our classes, KVR classes means branding for Python and Java. And the local variable and global variable, if I explain, nobody knows. Even the person who teaches 10 years onwards also, they don't know. So we are not coming to that stage. We are in the normal variables we are talking. When I come to that stage of local variable and then global variable and then formal variable and then arguments, if I explain, arguments are there, dummy arguments are there, local variables are there, local arguments are there, formal variables are there, dummy formal arguments, formal parameters are there. If I explain these many, it is going to be like anything. So we are not coming to that wording. We are going to coming to the beginning level only I am in. So when I come to that stage, when I am coming to that stage, we are going to enter into that. Yes. So yes, ma. So we are branding for Java. Actually, we are branding for Java and Python. This is a C programming. I'm just giving some small awareness for the people who don't know anything about the languages. Right? Coming to the point. Coming to the point. Now here, default value of C programming called garbage value. So immediately what is happening? This memory space is there now. Already this memory space is there. Variable name is there. Variable name A is there. And it is going to contain what? 3456, 3456 some address is there. Automatically some garbage value will be there. We don't know what is that garbage value unless and until we print it. Unless and until we print it. Right? So unless and until we print it. So the same thing, if I come to this place, some value will be present inside of it. So same thing, if I come to this level, A will be there, and in that some address will be there, some address will be there, and then inside of it, some garbage value will be present. How to print the garbage value? We are going to tell you printf statement, scanf statement. I will introduce. These sessions are going to be only for first few days. For 10 days, we are planning just to give some awareness about how programming is supposed to learn. Alphabets of the programming we would like to give it. So whenever we declare the variable, so first memory space is created. Next variable name is assigned. Next address is assigned. Next address is assigned. Next after that garbage value will be placed. Garbage value will be placed. Memory space is created, variable name is assigned, address is placed, and then garbage value will be placed. This is the internally how it is taken place. Right. Next, is this 4 steps are clear for all of you guys? Is this 4 steps are clear for all of you? Okay, you confirm it? Yes. Now we are going to enter into variable initialization. Variable initialization. After that, I will give you the clarity for both variable declaration and variable initialization. Both of them I will give you the clarity. Both of them I will give you the clarity on both variable declaration and variable initialization. Right? Coming to the next. So here we are already having some small discussion. Here, last statement I will give you. All the variable declaration by default contains what values? Now tell me all the declared variables. All the declared variables, all the declared variables, all the declared variables contains what? All the declared variables contains what? Contains what? Garbage values. Excellent. Garbage values. Garbage values. Keep it aside. Now I want to talk about variable initialization. When do you go for declaration? When do you go for initialization? That is a very, very important. When do you go for declaration? When do you go for initialization? I need to go for it. Generally, most of the people are not aware of it. When do you go for initialization? When do you go for declaration? Let me go for it. Let me give you the standards of it. As a part of our Java programming, we are going to learn these kind of concepts will be coming. Variable declaration and variable initialization. Now I am entering into the variable initialization. Initialization we are talking about. Very, very simple. Let's follow. Let us start without late. See, dear students, come to one example here. What is that example? In the software industry, you will come across values. Some values will come in front of you. Some values will come in front of you. What are the values are coming in front of you? What are the values are coming in front of you? There are two types of values will be coming in front of you. There are two types of values are coming in front of you. What is that first one? Number one. What is coming? Specific values. These are the very, very important. Actually, these terms you will not get anytime. Even the people who are discussing normally the C programming and all, because they don't have the awareness about the software industry. Without software industry, if anybody trying to get it, it will not connect to the software industry applications. So anything we discuss, it should improve our problem solving skills. Without learning the proper things, if you try to write the programming will not come. Programming is called actually dead easy, provided if you learn the subject in proper order. Why most of the people are unable to write, including you also? Why the people are unable to write the program on their own? Because what they learn it, What the programming is totally irrelevant they teach. But here, what my classes deals with, what we taught as a concept, that concept only we convert into the programming. That is the style of the subject. That is the style of the subject actually. So without programming knowledge, we cannot get without programming knowledge, we cannot write any coding. Without concept, we can't write anything. That's why concept must be so clear and programs will be coming automatically. Okay, let us coming to that. Now I'm talking about common values. Common values. Common values. Specific values, common values. Look at that very carefully here. Sir, what are the common values here? What are the common values here? See, very, very simple. So here I'm going to say something like this. I'm going to say something like this. Look at specific values are those. Specific values are those which are dealing with something like this. Specific values are those which are dealing with individual values or specific values to the programmers. Particular values, particular values, particular values, particular values. That means suitable for only one person, not suitable for all the people. Common values concept you take it. Common values concept you take it, which is a suitable for all programmers. Common values suitable for all programmers. All programmers. So here I am writing suitable for all programmers. Particular values for one programmer. One programmer. Right? Examples you take it all of this thing. Anything we speak, it should map to the programming part. Take common values means what? If I said one value, everybody will use the same value. You take the best examples here. The best example is what? The best example part is called what? Pi value you take it. Pi value. Pi is equal to 3.14. 3.14. Is it common for all of you or specific to one somebody? Is this value common or specific? Try to respond. Is it common or specific? Yes. Common for all. This 3.14 is common for all. Common for all. This is a common for all. Next, capital of India is common for all Indians. Now you take, for example, STNO, student number you take it. The number will change from one student to another student. The number will change from one student to another student. Next, name of the student, name of the student changes from one person to another person. Changes from one person to another person. Marks of the student changes from one person to another person. So number, name, marks. Even you take account number of the banking, ACNO, is changing from one customer to another customer. Customer name you take it, changing from one person to another person. These are all called specific values. Next is called what balance you take it, changing from one person to another person. Specific values and then common values. Now you come to the common value. Logarithm of E value you take it. E 2.71. It is a common for all the mathematics people. All the mathematics people. Your Aadhaar card number, specific value, and a capital of India for all the Indians. It is going to be what? Common for everybody. So whether you followed or not, are you able to understand these values types? Are you understanding the type of values, ma? Everybody, try to understand values types. Types of values. How many types of values are there? Come on, try to respond. How many types of values are there? Two types of values are there. Come on, try to respond. Number one is what? Number one is what? Number one, specific value. Next is called what? Common value. Specific value and common value. Right? So, specific value and common value. Specific values are suitable for what? One programmer. Common values are suitable for all the programmers. Now, when specific values are coming, what concept to be used? When specific values are coming, what concept to be used? When common values are coming, what topic to be used? That is what we need to understand in the class. When specific values are coming, how to use it? When common values are coming, how to use it, we need to learn it. Now I am going to introduce when specific values are coming, it is always recommended for you to go for what? Variable declaration. Variable declaration, which is just now explained. Variable declaration. Variable declaration. Variable declaration. When a specific values are coming in front of you, go for variable declaration. That is a fixed. When common values are coming, go for variable initialization. Variable initialization. I am talking about variable initialization. If you go against to both of them, it is going to be a wrong practice in the software industry. It is a wrong practice in the software industry. So specific values are for particular values, go for variable declaration, because these specific values we read from the keyboard. We read from the keyboard, and the common values will remain the same for all the peoples. So example you take it, sir. Example you take it one more time. Now I am going to take. Suppose now I am taking about the common values. For example, you take common value I want to store. Common value storage. I am going to talk about common value store. For common value storing is concerned, you are preferring, for example, variable declaration. For example, assume that. What is our common value you want to store? Pi value you want to store. Pi. Common value called what? Pi. Pi value you want to store. That is known as what? 3.14 is my value. How do you store it? Generally, it's the 3.14 is called integer part plus decimal part is there. Compulsory I will go for which data type? Which data type I will take? Float data type I will take. Float. So I am taking float here. Float. Suppose for example, I am taking pi. Pi I am taking. Example is pi. What will happen? This is called variable declaration. When a variable is declared, just now I told you already in the class. Memory space is created. Memory space is created. Automatically memory space is created, which is given some name, which is having some address also. Some address is also there. And internally, what is the value placed by default? Garbage value will be placed. Garbage value. This is the three things are occurring simultaneously. It is known as a declaration. Later, what are you doing? You are doing pi is equal to 3.14. 3.14 you are writing. When you write 3.14, do you know what is happening actually? The value called 3.14, this value, please follow me carefully. This value, whatever you have, this value will be taken. In this value, do you know, internally, do you know what is happening? Pi value will be taken. Pi value will be taken. The value called garbage value is replaced with, what is the value replaced with? 3.14. 3.14. 3.14 replaced. So here what is going on? Replacing the garbage value, replacing garbage value with 3.14, with the 3.14 replaced with that. So because of that, what is happening? Some waste of time. Why? In the beginning only I want to place common value. See, if I go for variable declaration, beginning only you are placing garbage value. To place the garbage value, some amount of time is taken. To replace the garbage value with our own value, it is taking some more amount of time. For replacement and then replacing your one value, some more amount of time is taking. This will be taking more amount of time, and this statement is called generally assignment statement, we can call. Generally in the people will say in the colleges and all, initialization they will say that is a wrong sentence. It is called what? Assignment we can call. Because of assignment, this is a story happening. Now, instead of this, what industry recommends, what we do in the programming languages, what is recommended in the software industry, do you know? When common value is coming for you, when common value is coming in front of you, do you know what I should do? Same thing, the common value storage representation. How I am going to do now? How I will do it? Very, very easy. See how I am going to do? Float pi I am taking, pi is equal to, directly I am placing my value because it is not going to be changed by anybody else. See, directly I am placing my own value. Because of this, do you know what is happening? Pi value, this is known as initialization I am talking. 5 value, some address will be there, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then value will be placed here, 3.14, directly placed, placing our own value. See, placing our own value without placing what value? The garbage value, without placing garbage value. This is the standard of placing our own value without placing garbage value. So you tell me, this process is called, this process, the way which you write like this, every common value must be initialized. Every common value must be initialized. This is known as variable initialization, we can call. A variable initialization we can call. So variable initialization is nothing but what? Placing our own value without placing the garbage values. So tell me, for placing the common values, which concept is better? Which concept is better? For placing the garbage value, which concept is better? Variable initialization is better. Variable initialization is better. So that variable initialization is meant for what? Variable declaration is meant for what? So I'm writing one box point here. I'm writing one box point. Hence, what I'm going to say in this box point. Look at that. Hence, all the specific values must be placed in the variable declaration, or hence variable declaration concept. Variable declaration concept. Declaration concept. Variable declaration concept must be used for specific values, used for storing specific values, storing specific values, and all the common variable values. Variable declaration, this is called. Variable initialization, next concept we are going to introduce. And now I am saying variable initialization, which I am going to introduce now. Variable initialization. Variable initialization must be used for variable used for common value, used for storing common values. I hope you people are understanding the meaning of it. Are you okay, guys? Are you okay with my explanation? Is it understandable? If you go against to these rules, we cannot get anything else in the programmatically. So tell me, if I go for your number, your name and marks, if I want to get it, I have to go with what? Variable declaration, because I will read from the keyboard. Variable initialization, which is a fixed, nobody can change it. It's a one value for all. Take one example. When you go for depositing the money in SBA, from morning to evening, from all the 365 days in all the years together, bank name remains the same. So bank name, branch name or bank name remains the same. But what is changing daily? Account numbers, they are changing. Customer names, they are changing. Balance, they are changing. Even date also changing from one day to another day. But in all the days, what is remains same? In all the days, what is remains same? What is remains the same? Bank name remains the same. Hence, I'm going to have the conclusion here. I'm having the conclusion here. In order to have the common value representation, I must go for initialization. What is the definition of it? Now I'm going to say the definition of it. What is the definition of this says? The process of, now I'm writing the definition. The process of placing our own values, without placing what values? Garbage values. The process of placing our own values without placing garbage values is known as garbage values. Is known as variable initialization. Variable initialization, variable initialization we can call. So the process of placing our own values without placing garbage values is known as variable initialization. Okay. Now, as I told you just now I'm writing. When do you prefer this concept? Just now I shown you also. The variable when I'm writing like this. When we have common values, when we have common values, when we have common values, when we have common values for all the programmers, for all the programmers. Now I'm writing for all the programmers. When we have the common values for all the programmers, then such a type of common values, such a type of common values, such a type of common values must be initialized, must be initialized. So the word itself is important. Initialization is nothing but placing our own values without placing garbage values. We have, when we have common values for all the programmers, then such a type of common values must be initialized. So if you go for a declaration, I told you what will be the performance problems you are getting it. What are the performance problems? This is a declaration. First garbage value placed, next garbage value replaced with our own values. These are all long-term process, very big process. Rather than that, I want to place my own value directly without placing what value? Default value. I placed my own value without placing, known as what? Variable initialization. Hence, every common value must be initialized. So now I'm writing variable initialization concept is used for placing the common values. Now I'm writing here. Hence, variable initialization concept. Variable initialization concept is always used for storing common values. So done. So how you can do in the programming, I'm going to show in the class. Right. Moreover, now syntax I will go for it. Syntax. What is the syntax here? See the syntax here. Very simple. Very simple. Data type. See that example which I told you now. See that example which I told you. Here you see. Data type. First one is called what? Data type. This one. Next is called variable name. Next is called variable value. Variable name, variable value, variable data type, variable name, variable value. These things I need to carry. So here I am taking data type, variable name var1 is equal to value 1, comma var2 is equal to value 2, so on. varn is equal to value n. Data type var1 is equal to value 1, var1 is equal to value 1, var2 is equal to value 2, comma varn is equal to 1 minute. So variable 1, variable 2, 1 minute. var2 is equal to value 2, so on. varn is equal to variable n, value n. So what is the data type? Already I told you here. Here data type represents predefined data types. Any one of the predefined data which I told you already. Int, float, double, long, char, etc. Next is called what? Here variable 1, comma variable 2, so on. Variable n represents what is that? List of valid variable names. List of valid variable names. Next is called what? Value 1, value 2, so on. Value n represents what? Represents list of common values. That too. List of common values. Decided to assign decided to assign VAR1, VAR2, so on, VARN respectively. I hope you are understanding this English. So for all these variables, for all values, V1, V2 value, we represent common values, decided to assign variable 1, variable 2, variable n respectively. Value 1 for variable 1, value 2 for variable 2, value n for variable n. This is the process of it. Examples, I will go for it. Examples, I am going for it. So what are the examples here? Very simple. Very simple. Now I am taking int a is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. Next I am writing int b is equal to 20. Instead of writing this, see, variable name value 1, variable 1 value 1. You can write this as, in place of writing this, you can write happily like this. Int a is equal to 10, comma b is equal to 20 also I can write. In the same line I can write it, comma. Int a is equal to 10, int b is equal to 20, because you see data type int. Variable name is called what? A. Variable name 2 is called what? B is equal to 10, 20. Okay. Not only that, I will take one more. X is equal to 10.2, comma, Y is equal to 34.5, Z is equal to 4.5. Like this also you can write. You can write. Now, example 2 you can write. Of course, you can continue in the same place, no problem. Float pi is equal to pi is equal to 3.14, comma, E is equal to E 2.71. You can take like this also. 2.71 you can write. Now you can write one small example. What is the small example use? Suppose both of them I want to use. Declaration I want to use plus initialization I want to use. Both the declaration plus initialization, both of them I want to use. How to use both of them? It will be something like this. How do you use it? It is something like this. How? Int a is equal to 10, comma b is equal to 20. A is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, comma c also you can use it. These two things are called what? Initialization. And C is called what? No? Can anybody answer this question? Int A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20 is called initialization. What about the int C is called? What is it? Declaration it is called. It is called a declaration. Now I will write it. Now you add the A and B value and put it in C. How do you add it? How do you add that values? So coming to the point of it, C is equal to what? A plus B. C is equal to A plus B. So I put this example make you to understand. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, and C is equal to A plus B. We are just adding those values. So this indicates how we are going to learn declaration cum initialization. This is called. So previous topic is what? Variable declaration, and this is called variable initialization, because programmatically these things are compulsory. Whether you learn Java or you learn C++, whatever you learn it, Java you learn, C language you learn, C++ you learn, these are the minimum basics required. So the main intention of this 10 days is teaching about the basics in C language. So those basics will be helpful to you in learning the further things. Okay, so now we will stop it. Because even students are very less in today, Saturday. And Monday class I will go for how to read the data, how to print the data, and the structure of the C program I will introduce. In the Monday class, I will tell you how to read the data from the keyboard, how to write the data from the keyboard, how to read and how to write, and the structure of the C program I will write it. Structure of the C program I can write it. Okay, now. So we are going to talk about in the class. Okay, now. Today's class is clear for all of you? Because today I want to introduce, but students are also less. So Monday class, I will introduce you. So we will stop it. And Monday class, I will introduce the concept of what? The reading and then writing the data. We will go for it. Okay. I will stop the class. So tomorrow class, that is a Monday class. Don't miss it. It's an important. Okay, now? Thank you. Good day. Yes, ma. Core Java is Monday is starting at 4 p.m. So any friends are there, please intimate. There it is a full length course, not like only this 10 days or something. It is a full length course. Right. Thank you. Good day. Galaxy A30. Int A is equal to B is equal to 10. That is invalid. You will get B is not declared. B is not declared. You will get an error. You will get an error. You will get an error. Variable declaration statement already done here, ma. This is a variable declaration. So this is a variable declaration statements. Okay. So Monday class, don't miss it. There we will talk about it. Yeah, we need to do Galaxy A30. Int A comma B, you need to write. Int A comma B, or you can write A is equal to 10, int A is equal to 10, and B is equal to 20, we need to write it. Int A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20, we need to write it. Then only it is valid. Okay, now? Now I told you, Nama. So I told you that int A is equal to A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. 10 is A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10. Like that you need to write. Or you can write A into A comma B, next line A is equal to B is equal to 10, you can write like that. You can write like that. Galaxy A30. Need to listen what I am saying. Into A comma B, next line A is equal to B is equal to 10, like that you need to write. Rupesh Sable. First attend the class, ma. Regarding the fees, later we can talk. Later our administrators will talk to you. First attend the class from Monday. Monday we will attend the class 4 p.m. So intimate to all of your people. It is a 2.5 months, ma'am. Utkrash. Duration of the Java course is 2.5 months. Right. So 2.5 months it is. Galaxy A30. You attend the Java class, ma'am. You attend the Java class because it is not a Java class importance or Python class importance. This is C programming importance. Right. Yeah. Utkrash. So we will see data structures later, ma. First, let me complete this basic level. Then we will go for that. Yes, ma. Rupesh. Okay, you are my Python student. Okay, good. So intimate to many of the friends, and you people try to attend the Java also from Monday 4 p.m. Okay, na? Okay, right.